We're back. I'm here with Robert Jumper. He is part of Digital Federal Credit Union. He is the branch manager. Thank you for coming on. How are you doing?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. Happy holidays to you both.
You as well.
So it's kind of an exciting time in banking. I know that you probably don't hear that often, but it does seem like interest rates are low and people are really being able to loan money. So tell us a little bit about Digital Federal Credit Union. I know they're a big company and I'd like to hear more about them.
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about the history if that's okay.
Yeah, please.
So a lot of people don't know this, but Digital Federal Credit Union, DCU, actually started as a credit union for Digital Equipment Corp back in 1979. That's when we originally got chartered. So the owners there wanted to start a credit union where that was owned and operated by its employees, their members. So they started Digital Federal Credit Union. You go 20 years later, in the late 90s, when Digital Equipment Corp was acquired, we continue to thrive into what we have today, which is, we're the largest in terms of assets credit union in New England. We now have 22 physical locations, and we're Massachusetts, 18 in Massachusetts, and 4 in New Hampshire. And we've just continued to keep building. And it's funny because, we kept the name Digital in the credit union's name to kind of pay homage to those that started as employees of Digital Equipment Corp, but also because we are kind of that credit union that has that tech background, so we're kind of known for having some of the cool digital stuff. We were one of the first to have like iPhone apps and Android apps and have a website. I think we were like number 3 in the country having a website. So we're doing very well. We're continuing to grow. We're still in growth mode, which is good for especially in banking. It's always good to kind of continue to be in growth mode. So we're doing well.
Well, I know Chelmsford is excited, to say the least. I know that they're going to be opening up at least an operational center for the bank.
Yes.
Down on our 129 area that was vacated by Kronos.
Absolutely.
We kind of felt a huge loss there, but I think there was really a lot of enthusiasm when people heard that DCU was coming into that area, and certainly as a town, I think we want to embrace your presence and help you guys be more successful as a result of being here in the area. So
thank you.
We certainly appreciate that. Now, you're a branch manager, so an operational center is a little bit different. But where are you actually situated out of?
I actually manage a branch in Littleton, which is over in the Point Plaza on Constitution Ave, that big plaza right off of 495.
Oh, nice.
So we moved there June of 2016, so a little over a year and a half. We've now been in there, and it's been great. I mean, as you can see, all the businesses that are growing in the plaza. We've had much more exposure since we've been there, so business is going great, and that's a beautiful plaza, and like my 2-mile commute to work every day. But it's a beautiful location, and it doesn't look like a traditional financial institution. A lot of financial institutions walk in, it's got a traditional teller line. This doesn't. This has, when you walk in, there's like an iPad to sign in for member service help, beautiful glass offices. The lobby, instead of a teller line, we have individual teller pods, so it's more engaging, and that's the idea. So as we build branches like the Littleton one, and we recently built one in Leominster as well, that's the design we're going for, which is more of an open concept, more almost like a hotel concierge member service feel, where it's engaging for the employees and the members. So it's definitely a different look, but it's beautiful in the location. We couldn't ask for it to come out nicer, and we're very happy since we've been there.
Now, I assume you guys are trying to expand your footprint as far as both personal checking and business checking and those type of things.
Yep.
Is there a specific sector that you're going after, or somebody that you think would be a good client of DCU?
Yeah, we are what's called a SEG-based credit union, which stands for Select Employee Group. Credit unions are usually either tied to a group of people, maybe where you live, work, worship. That's a community credit union. Or you might have a SEG base like us, which is we try to partner with different companies, or if we have different associations that you can belong through. But we're definitely going for that consumer focus. So like a lot of people take auto loans with us because as a credit union, we're typically going to have better rates on consumer loan products. We're going to have better rates on savings products. We're going to have lower fees, a lot of our checking products. So we're definitely more consumer based. And what we do is we try to reach out to companies and say, hey, we would love to have your employees be part of the credit union. What can we do to partner with you so that we can offer our services? So, I mean, we're over 700 companies across the country we have partnered with over the years to offer our services. So we're definitely consumer. And be quite honest with you, most of our business, since we're tied to digital, a lot of our business has just been family and friend referrals over the years. A lot of our people have been very loyal to us, so we have many members that have just stuck with us over the years, and they send their family and friends. And you know, in business, if you treat people right, they will continue to come back to you, they'll trust you, and they'll send people to you. So that's helped us grow.
Now, not to digress a little bit, but what is the difference between being a credit union versus being a bank, and how do you differentiate that?
So a credit union is operated, it's a not-for-profit financial cooperative that's owned and operated by the members. So if you come to DCU and you open an account, you're instantly a member and you have a vote. You're part of the company. It doesn't matter what you have on deposit with us. So that's the main difference, is we're owned and operated by the members, and we are, because we're owned and operated by the members, well, for one thing, because we're not-for-profit, we don't have to pay federal taxes. So therefore, after we pay out expenses, the earnings are going to be given back to the members. So we're going to give it back, like I said before, in the terms of the better rates, the lower fees. So it's definitely that approach. And then it's a philosophical approach. It's we are people helping people, financial institutions. So we want to try to help people and do whatever we can to do right by people. And I think that's probably the biggest difference, is it's not-for-profit financial cooperative, and our board, we have a board like most financial institutions do, but they're not paid board. They have to be members, and no matter what you have on deposit, which if you get into like mutual banks and public banks, a lot of times it depends on kind of what you have on deposit is kind of your vote, if you will, but with the credit union, it's different. And DCU has a vision, and our vision is that all our members are going to achieve their financial goals. So what that really means is we want to be that financial champion, that catalyst to try to help them through any life cycle that they might be in. We've adopted principles because of that, called our DCU way, which is people come first, do the right thing, and make a difference. That's what we try to do every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, this is kind of exciting time. I would assume that you guys have probably seen an increase in like home equity lines and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
At least with people being able to have some equity in their home because home prices are going back up.
Yep.
Have you seen that as people coming in, doing additions or getting extra capital from you?
Absolutely. It's actually, this is kind of the busy season for the home equities, because like you said, the property values are starting to go up, so people are starting to have more equities in the home, so they can do the home repairs, or maybe even use an equity in their home to pay off other sorts of debt. Maybe they have credit card debt or other things like that are higher interest rate. Now you can use a home equity in your home, pay a lower rate, and be able to use it. We do that also with like our auto loans. A lot of people don't realize on an auto loan, if you own it outright, you can actually take a loan against your vehicle and get a nice possibly a 2.24 rate and pay off some 16, 18, 20% credit card rates. That's another thing that we do. But yes, we definitely seen an uptick in the loans these days.
Well, I think it's a benefit. You talk about auto loans, but I think it's good to actually go to a credit union and get at least a pre-approval for an auto, because sometimes you might walk in and you're already sitting there with a better rate from a credit union than you would from the actual dealer. And it's I think it's beneficial. At least gives you that ability to shop with confidence and not feel that you're going to be victimized by well, to be honest with you, if you get into the world of financing, you slice things many different ways.
Sure.
It's easy to make it sound great, but at least if you know exactly what the terms of the loan that you have, and the interest rate and what you'll be paying, it definitely puts you, I think, ahead of the game on the long run.
Absolutely. And a lot of the local dealers know DCU very well. So a lot of them, if you go in there and you're looking for it, a lot of them have partnered with us to offer loans with us. And a lot of people say, go to DCU, they have the best rates, go to DCU. So it's kind of a friendly competitive, if you will, but it works good both ways.
Now, as far as other products you guys have, I know that savings is always on the top of people's minds, but do you guys have any sort of bonds or stocks or anything that they can actually come in and purchase, or any short-term, annuities?
Yep, so we actually, if you came in to see me, I could offer you traditional banking products, the savings, the money market, the CDs, the checking accounts, those nature, along with retail lending products. But we also have DCU Financial. So we have a financial rep dedicated to every branch that can offer. So if you wanted to come in and dabble in the market or do some bonds or mutual fund, take a little bit more risk, we definitely, we have DCU Financial, which is our own financial for that stuff. So
Now-
I have my own dedicated rep for that.
How do they determine what they're going to pay out in CDs? Is it tied to the 10-year Treasury note, or how do they determine the actual rate of return on those?
So for our CDs, we set the rates based on a few different things. It might be market tendencies right now. It could be competition. It could be, you know, whether we need a 6-month or longer term right now. So we set them ourselves. So our CD rates are typically not going to be tied to like treasuries, if you will. But you know, if you dabble for DCU Financial, obviously, then it gets into that stuff.
Now, a lot of it's gone electronic. Have you seen kind of a dip in the number of people that actually come into the branches due to electronic deposit? And is that a concern for people working within the bank, or is that?
It's funny because you would think it would be a concern, because I know a lot of financial institutions right now are starting to see a decrease in routine transactions in the branches. DCU is continuing to still see people come in the branches. Now, are the same amount of people coming in the branch today that were 20 years ago? Obviously not, with mobile banking and those technologies that we now have. But I think the key is that you educate people, that you have ways on your mobile app and online to be able to offer loans. And DCU always has ways of applying for loans. We do quarterly offers to our members to say, hey, you've been approved for an auto loan, you've been approved for a Visa card, would you like to take advantage of this? But it's funny, every time one of my staff or I open a membership, we open the membership, we show them how to get online, we show them how to download that app, we get them the password for the app, and some members you don't see as much anymore, and other members will come back to do the higher end mortgages and things of that nature. But our transactions volumes is still high though. Like our branches, it's funny, you'd think like the teller volume would go down, but no, DCU still got a lot of people like coming in for both the new memberships and the loans and stuff, as well as doing the regular transactions. But our mobile apps are, I tell people, our mobile apps like phenomenal. Now you can take the picture of the checks and right from your home. You don't even need to go down there. There's so many things you can do now. You don't need a physical branch.
Well, I'll tell you. So we deal in real estate, but getting a home mortgage, it's nice to actually be able to put a name to a face and know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
If somebody walks into the branch, they're interested in maybe purchasing a new home, can you get that process started at the branch level?
Yes, absolutely. My staff and I, we have usually at least like 4 or 5 in my branch that can take a mortgage application. So, and the nice thing is you can go online and you can make an appointment. You have online appointments, so that if you walk in on a Saturday or a Friday night, you already have an appointment set. But we can do the apps right there in the branch, and we can educate them and show them what closing costs might look like and what the rates might look like, and get that process going right in, so they can get their pre-approval and start looking for a home. As you say in real estate, if you start working with a realtor, the demand is so high, and the volume right now, especially in this area, isn't as high, that you want serious buyers. So definitely the pre-approval is the way to go. So we always tell people to make an appointment and get the pre-approval started first.
Yeah, whether you're buying a home or you're buying a car or anything, I mean, I think it's always good. One of the things that you just mentioned was the closing costs and the prepaid items and the things that go into actually purchasing real estate. I don't think people necessarily think of up front. They say, oh, I have this little chunk of money I'm going to put down. They may not have all the extra money they need to make the whole transaction happen, right?
Sure, the taxes, it's principal, it's interest, it's taxes, it's insurance. It could be PMI if they don't put 20% down. It could be condo fees if they have condos. So it's funny, you like sit and say, okay, I have this much and I pay rent, and it doesn't always correspond to you being able to be a homeowner. So those are certainly the down payment and the good credit are great places to start. And then obviously we want to look at other debts that you have and make sure that you can make that principal, interest, tax, insurance, mortgage payment comfortably. So then we educate people when we sit with them and make sure that they are going to be fully qualified before we get them that pre-approval letter and get them looking for that home. And we have DCU Realty as well, so we can actually have them sit with one of my dedicated realtors too and help them with that process.
That's unbelievable. It's like one-stop shopping.
Yeah. We got the insurance, we got the retail, we got the DCU Financial, and we got all the branches, and online people can join DCU by going on dcu.org as well and starting a membership that way. So got to be able to kind of treat them well when they're in the branches, but you also have to have ways, obviously, to be able to get them to do the stuff on their phones and on the computers as well, because people live busy lives and not everybody has time to sit down and face-to-face. So we have a good mix of both.
Now, I assume you guys offer debit cards and credit cards as well. Is that part of your product line?
We do. We debit cards we print right in the branches. So if you open a new membership, you walk out with your online, you get the mobile access and the debit card. You walk right out, and we offer our own credit cards as well, which is another one of our kind of bread and butters. It's the auto loans and it's our Visa credit card. So we do a lot of those, and we certainly educate people on making sure that they're not just going out and charging up, that they have that right utilization and kind of being smart so that when they start getting that credit report, it's going up, trending up, and not coming down because of too much use.
Well, that's always good.
Yeah. Hey, it's you gotta be
And I assume
smart.
you guys
You're
have
smart
these
with
new
that
little
stuff.
chips and all that.
Well, you got the chip technology, yep, to help with the fraud. Yep, all of our debits and credit cards all have the chips. Yep. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. Any other events or anything coming up that might be worthy of consumers coming out to check out?
I'm trying to think. It's the holidays. Not that I can, no events that I can think of. Obviously, we're very excited to be part of the Chelmsford community. So, definitely want to thank you for mentioning that. We can't wait to get in there and be part of the community. And I've already met people as I've been out and about saying how excited they are that we're part of it. So that's probably our next big thing that we're tackling to get in there first quarter of 2018. But nope, just getting ready for the holidays. All the shopping got to do.
Well, we sincerely appreciate DCU being here. We appreciate all the businesses that are, not only just in our 129 quarter, but across. And
Sure.
certainly get a chance to go visit your new location down at the Point,
Thank you.
right in Littleton there, and go in and check it out.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I
All right.
appreciate you having me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.